There we go. I think that works now. There we go. Yeah, all right. So, anyways, welcome and to the Stanley Parable. I'm my first time playing it. I have not played the first one at all. Um, since I had some technical difficulties, I'm just gonna start from the beginning, and yeah. All right. Okay, well, that's an achievement. Tried to jump. I don't even know if I can interact with something.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
How do I interact with things? I don't know how to. Can I put input around? Guess just.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
I don't care if it advances the story. I'm gonna turn off all the fucking computers. Open and close the door. Can I pick stuff up? Like I'm looking at it. Alright.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'm gonna follow through the game first time around at least. I'm gonna do what he tells me to.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
It's over here. I'll go into the executive bathroom. Because the boss knows what the boss says goes, if the boss suffers losses, that's what the boss chose. Oh. Boop. Boop boop. Go boo. Right. Pick up your phone. I'm guessing that's the boss's office. So what's over here? An elevator. not gonna go in there. I'm gonna go to the boss's office.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an
I'm back
indication of
here.
any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief
Ooh,
who
there's gotta be a
orchestrated this.
code somewhere.
What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the code.
1 second. Is there a dead zone? My thing has.
Correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Like, if I'm not moving, I sometimes just move. My dead zone sucks. Wait. I'm gonna change. I want. Actually, I will do that. I will do simplified controls. Like, look, I just keep moving.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley
Stop.
realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a
Stop
stirring of
moving me.
emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Okay.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I will. I shall.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control was horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Moving?
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
This is a very short game if you guys did not put that together yet.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power,
I'm not
he knew
moving!
it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
I'm gonna have to get a different controller eventually. Oh my god. I wanna just press a fucking button. I'm not gonna do the exploring on stream. I'm just doing the main game.
Blackness and a
I thought it was
rising
gonna be like an
chill
hour
of
long.
uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Alright, I guess that's it.